Warriors, welcome back, and I am joined once again with Jeremy. Why did I say bye? Hi, Jeremy. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good on you.
I'm doing pretty well. So we're gonna we're gonna talk about some of the cosmetics that are coming with the launch of the new hero, the Pirates of the Aurora cosmetics, and this will be running from January 27th to February 17th. So it is a time limited thing, and we've got a free event pass. We've got a battle outfit here, the Forgotten Riches. And we also will have a mood effect called Riches of the Deep, as you see Black Prior here hanging out with his hot treasure, as I mentioned earlier. And then we also have an ornament that will be coming as well called Mutinous Riches, very squashbuckly, very piratey. Is that an eye patch on the skull there? I think.
Of course it is.
It is. Yeah. You have to have the classic eye patch. So yeah, these were all things that will be available from January 27th through February 17th. But let's talk about some of the other things that that'll be coming with TU2. Of course, we always do like a menu kind of rollout. So why don't you go ahead and take the floor, Jeremy, and kind of talk to us about these things.
Absolutely. So by this time it's still in winter. In this studio, we're still in winter, but with the arrival of the pirate in the universe, we went a bit crazy with the Aurora Borealis. So like you can see, it was present in the main menu. It is also in the face-off. It is also in the landing page. And really, you can see it's going to be all across the platform. For the world map, previously, we could see that something was coming near the land. But now with the clouds that are gone, we can clearly see that, okay, it's the boat, it's the pirate that are coming, and they are even reaching the land. So yeah, the pirates are here to stay, I would say. And then we have the mood board. Obviously, those were the inspiration for the realization we did in the map, but also in the menu. So what we're going to see right away, we started from those images to come up with this result. So the action is taking place in harbor. Like you can see, it's on a night like a mood. There's some snow, obviously. The pirate boat is really near the action now. Like you can see, the Aurora Borealis is all across the map. So wherever you are in the map, you will see the Aurora Borealis. Some parrots here and there that are hanging out, screaming stuff to the player. Here we can see the market that has been revised as well, with some parrots minion here and there. Here, and this is the amazing landscape that we can see with the boat and the sky. During this TU, we will have those new minions. So we're keeping the previous pirate minion that we had the TU before, but we're adding this one. So one side we're gonna have those visual, and in the other side it's gonna be a rotation that's gonna be for the three other visuals. So it's another pirate minion added to the roster.
Beautiful, awesome. Everything looks super sick. And then we also have some armor variations for already existing heroes, very pirate themed stuff.
Absolutely. So yes, we have a new character, but we're not forgetting our other character this time. So we have really new designs for them. Like you can see, those are obviously with pirate-related design. I would say there is a lot of materials, a lot of tattoos that have some exotic patterns. But compared to the previous batch, you will see that they are slightly more chaotic. I would say they are really badass. So that's why it's a bit more. It's a darker tone. Like you can see, and even some of the character, not all of them, but some of them, you will see that they have one blind eye. So obviously it's a parrot reference here as well. So I wanted to say a huge congrats to the Chengdu team who worked on them, who designed them. So once again, we succeed to have some amazing content, and the player will be really happy to receive all of them.
I'm excited to see them all. We're actually going to go ahead and roll a video kind of showing like all of the armor variations. And after that, we'll be right back to talk about some improvement to materials. So enjoy the video and then don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Perfect. Bye-bye.
And welcome back, Warriors. Here with me today to talk about some of the improvements that we're going to be making to our alternate material coloration stuff is Matthew. Welcome to the Warriors Den, Matthew.
Thank you. Always glad to be back. It's been a year or two, I believe, but always
It's been
happy
a
to come
bit,
back.
but we're always happy to have you on, man. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. I'm here
Cool.
to talk about some more technical stuff yet again, but it won't be classes this time around. So the gist of what's happening is that we've done some improvements to the way that the material system works. However, explaining what those improvements were, even to the team, proved kind of difficult because nobody quite understands, like, the color theory behind all of this stuff is kind of complicated. So we figured, like, since we're releasing this improvement anyway, we may as well kind of like talk to the players about what it is, it actually isn't that difficult. It just sounds really complicated on paper. So I figured we'd, discuss this directly on the Warriors Den.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it, man.
Sounds good. So here's the thing. We're going to be talking about the way that colors blend. Now, this is a masterclass in color. It is not. We're just going to be, surfing over stuff. But the important part to understand is that there are different ways how colors can blend. What we're seeing here is the classic blending of RGB colors that gives you white. It's additive color mixing. Is what you see in old video game puzzles, or even when you're choosing your hair color and when you're editing a character or whatever. It's just, your red, your blue, your green mixing together gives you white. But it's not the only type of color mixing you can have. There's a bunch of different ways how colors can interact. If you grab some paint and you put it all together, you don't end up with white paint. You end up with this grayish brown sludge, So we have our own way how to interact with colorations with the way that the alternate materials work. And yep, this is it. It's the old coloration method. Essentially, the way that it worked is that whatever was gray, or as much as gray as possible, would pick up the alternate material color. And as you get away from gray, you start mixing less and less. And it is a very efficient way to do it. But the problem is that it's assuming that the alternate material color that you're putting on top of yourself is gray. It's great for armors, like for our knights, but when you start adding it on wood or adding it on leather for, like, Vikings and samurais, well, it starts acting funky because that stuff isn't gray, it's brown, or it's, whatever color was underneath. And a lot of our alternate armor sets also have different coloration. And even our armors, they're not actually all that gray. They're kind of rusty and they're reddish. You can't really tell, but there's some red in there. And it's causing the coloration to look weird. Yep, so here we see the old coloration method that if you apply our colors on stuff that's not gray, see, we have some green here that's showing up yellow because of background coloration. Or if we put some blue there, you end up with some pink. Doesn't look right, and that's why the alternate materials always didn't quite look right most of the time. You would choose a particular color, and unless the color was really bright, really saturated, and it would just drown those changes, you would end up with, like, slight discoloration that didn't look quite right. And not only that, it would cause us from not being able to use colors that were, more grayish because, the method mixed gray, so it wasn't working well. So we decided to go with a new method. The new coloration method, what it does is it essentially removes all the coloration before we slap our alternate material on it. We're desaturating the armor or the mesh or whatever's underneath before putting our color in there, so that instead of having some blue here that's giving us some pink, you just end up with blue. It's a slightly more complicated way how to see a coloration method, as it required us to mix our colors using tints and stuff instead of using classic RGB, but it gives us a lot of power, and it permits us in this improvement to get the exact coloration that we want on our armor parts instead of having an approximate kind of color. This change is entirely retroactive, so everybody should look better all of a sudden that's using alternate materials. We can see some examples of that right up here right now. Everything that's the colors that are more muted and more close to gray are the ones that'll see the most benefits. This change is also going to permit us to make some of the colors that are not as blasted, super saturated, and go with, more natural colors that will mix better on our armors, rather than go with like full white and full pink and full, go with some nicer, more muted colors that'll work better on all of our characters instead of just working on knights. No, nice, they work pretty well already because, the armor was pretty close to gray, but some not as much. Mostly, Vikings and Samurais are going to benefit from it, but you do also have some knight changes. You see it right here, like the plates are going from red to blue and subtle, but it's there. So that's fixed.
Fantastic, Matthew. Thank you so much for giving such a comprehensive and easy to consume way of understanding how we're going about these artistic changes. It's super exciting. These
You're
changes
welcome.
are set to go live on the 27th with the new hero launch, I believe. And so, yeah, no, man, thanks so much for coming on and educating us about all of this stuff.
It's always a pleasure to do that stuff. I know that there's a lot of fans that always enjoy understanding the more technical aspects of what's going down with this stuff. So always ready and willing to feed that stuff to them because I like doing it and it's interesting.
It's definitely really interesting. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for being here to do that. Amazing stuff.